Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel, and most importantly, thank you so much for watching this first video. So, the reason I started this channel was so that I can give a better insight into life here in Japan, and in particular, life here in Wakayama, because I realized that there isn't too much content about Wakayama on the internet. So, I actually moved here last year, July, and I came here through the JET program. I'm originally from South Africa, and I've been living here in Japan for the past 16 months now. So far, I've been on quite a few adventures. I've learned a lot of lessons. I've learned a lot about the culture, the language, the customs, and I'm hoping that you too can learn about all this through this channel. So please take this journey with me. Excuse me. Please take this journey with me, and yeah, let's learn more about this beautiful country. So with this first video, it's pretty much just an apartment tour. I actually had nothing in here when I moved here. All I had was a futon, a fridge, stove, and a washing machine. Oh, and an AC. So much of the stuff you will see in here had to be shipped in from South Africa, or I had to buy brand new. I know for some people on the JET program, their predecessors pretty much leave them almost everything, or they have to buy one or two items from their predecessors. But in my case, and perhaps in the case of a few other jets, you have to furnish your own place. So yeah, I finished furnishing this whole apartment in March of this year. So yeah, much of what you see has been this way since March of this year. And yeah, if you have any questions whatsoever, please do ask. Regarding pricing, I pay $550, which includes a parking spot, and I get half of it back, so I'm actually paying about $225 for this apartment. It's not a bad deal. It's, for me personally, it's a little bit small. It could be bigger, but since I live alone, it's doable. I am managing, and yeah, I decided to just bring some of my art collection from South Africa and just a few items that I've owned for a long time, just so I can move easily if or when I do decide to go to a different part of Japan, because I do plan on being here for quite some time. So please do enjoy the video and ask any questions if you have any. I'm hoping that this apartment tour will give you a better insight into apartments here in Japan. And yeah, let's start this video. Alright, first things first, we've got the doorbell over here, and your bills normally come in through here. Step inside. And we've got a peeper behind the door, so I can tell who's ringing the doorbell. And just below that, there's this mailbox, which usually contains your bills and sometimes delivery attempt notices. So make sure you check this mailbox often. The mailbox where you receive letters and advertisements from pesky insurance companies and advertisers is downstairs, so you don't need to check that too often. But the one we're looking at now is extremely important. Make sure you look at that often. Alright, and similar to all other Japanese apartments and houses, this is your genkan, where you leave your shoes as you enter the house or apartment. So I'll just take mine off. And be sure to lock your door. Something I recently found out was that the genkan is actually a public space. I'm not too sure how true this is, but if it is true, then that means a policeman or a postman or the delivery man can just walk inside if your door is unlocked. So keep your door locked at all times, just for privacy and for peace of mind. That way nobody gets hurt and you avoid creepy eyeballs looking at you without your consent. Excuse me. And by the Genkan, similar to all Japanese, well, most Japanese houses, you've got the shoe rack where you keep all your shoes and your slippers. So I normally keep my Genkan neat and tidy because I don't like my shoes just on display. And on my shoe rack, I've got 3 bins. So the blue one is for metal and glass, the brown one is for organic waste, and the white one is for burnable waste. So make sure you always separate your trash properly in Japan. It's taken very seriously here. Alright, and as you step in, on your left we've got the bathroom. Here are the 2 switches, one for the toilet, one for the actual bathroom. And this, switch that on, yeah, it's on, but it's a bit loud, so I'm going to turn that off. It just extracts the nasty smells from the toilet and the steam from the bathroom. So just open here, I've got the toilet, nothing fancy, just a standard toilet. So when you flush, water comes out this faucet or tap, and you've got about 30 seconds to wash your hands and just wipe over here. I think it's a bit neat. It's a bit odd, but I don't mind. It's the least of my worries. So just standard toilet gets the job done. Luckily it's not a squat toilet. And over here we've got the basin. And just below that is a cabinet for storing extra toilet paper or extra toiletries or towels. And here is where you normally keep your toothbrushes and toothpaste. I've got my cup on the left, hand soap, hand sanitizer, daily cologne and lotion. And you can actually turn this on. I don't like having it on, it burns my eyes, so I normally keep it off. But I suppose if you use makeup, then something like this will be useful. And a socket here where you can plug in your hairdryer or shaver, or I guess anything really. Again, I barely use that because I'm lucky enough to not grow facial hair often. So that's not something I use. Alright, an actual bathtub. Luckily I'm not too tall, so well, I'm actually not tall at all, but I'm not short. So this bathtub is actually just okay for me. I find that a lot of Westerners in Japan aren't comfortable with their bathtubs because they're a bit too small for them. So this works just fine for me. And just the actual shower head over there and some toiletries. And behind the door is your towel rack. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's the bathroom. So again, as you walk in, the first thing you'll notice is an artwork straight ahead of you from the entrance. And this is actually an artwork I worked on in August this year. The full image along with detail images are on my Instagram page, so please do have a look. It's just a whole lot going on in here, and yeah, I really enjoy drawing. Many Swarovski crystals, lots of gold dust, gold foil, acrylic paint, and pen and ink. Let's just kill these lights while we're at it. Alright, just below the artwork is a tripod and my backpack, which has my daily essentials, just so I don't need to pack anything in the mornings when I head off to work. I can just grab that and walk out. And just a cozy little bench in case I need extra seating when people come over for dinner. So this is my dining and cooking area. I really enjoy cooking, so I'm very happy with the space that I received. It's not the biggest, but gets the job done. And this is actually a gas stove. The two pots that sit on there fit just fine. I find that it's just okay. It's not too small. So I'm very happy with the size. And over here, let's start here. I've got the water heater. So just to choose the temperature you want it on. Heats your water up very quickly. You can use that water to wash dishes or shower. Highly recommended. Always be sure to turn it off though. Otherwise you won't be happy with your gas bill at the end of the month. And just your light switch over here. For the kitchen, this is an artwork which I acquired 2 years ago from an artist called Henry Charles Hopkins. So Henry, if you're watching this, I'm really enjoying your artwork still. It actually reminds me of Black Noir, the superhero. And essential spices that I use often: oils, black pepper, chopsticks, my pasta, and my trusty chili peppers. I find that Japanese cuisine is generally not spicy, so I often just add some chili peppers to my meals to spice things up. And below the stove is where I keep my pots. Below the sink and food prep area is where I keep my plates and a few bowls, some cups, and some other crockery as well. This would have been nice if it was granite, but hey, again, that's the least of my worries. And over here I've got this Coca-Cola glass, which I've never used, but I really like the color. I think I only want to drink Coca-Cola out of it, but since I barely drink Coca-Cola, it's a bit pointless having this glass, but it's nice to look at. Over here by the fridge is my trusty trash calendar. So after 2 weeks of living here, you get used to the trash system. You know which days which trash gets picked up on, but because I am not too familiar with the Japanese holidays yet, I find that this calendar helps. So it turns out that we just had a holiday yesterday, and on the 3rd of November. So I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have this calendar. But yeah, in case you're ever uncertain, just look at your trash calendar and you'll know which day to take out which trash. And just a few cloths. I guess this one's just for wiping the food prep area, and this is just for wiping my dishes, drying my dishes. And just some memorabilia I have here. It's a photo of me from 10 years ago. Looked so young. And just a clock. Punu mask from Gabon, a country in Africa. And a drawing I made in May of a knock mask. And a Ndebele designed wine holder, just Ndebele beads and colors. So the Ndebele tribe is actually a South African tribe. Very, very colorful geometric shapes that they use in their art and decorations. So yeah, I highly recommend this stuff if you're into that. And yeah, so this is pretty much where I prep, cook, wash my food and plates, and yeah, this is where the kitchen magic happens. So if you open here, it's my little view outside, and a screen door which saves me from the mosquitoes which often molest me here in Japan. And just in front over here is a dotonbori, but as controversial as this may sound, I'm not too much a fan of okonomiyaki. But luckily just downstairs there's a sushi restaurant and a washoku restaurant, so I'm often eating down there on weekends and just draining my bank account. And over there is a vending machine, which you find pretty much everywhere in Japan. I think I've got like 6 vending machines just around my block. Taxis are parked over there, just on the right as you turn. There's a Lawson and the post office, laundromat. I'm very fortunate to be in the center of town. And yeah, again, this is where all the kitchen magic happens. Fridge, and I don't know what to call it. I just say it's a microwave, but it's actually a toaster as well, and an oven. So it's a 4-in-1 appliance, and you can just warm up other random things like milk and sake, coffee, bento, sashimi. I don't know why you'd need to warm up sashimi, but I guess you can. So yeah, very, very, very helpful and useful appliance. Just above it, we've got the bread bin, and just above that, there are 2 bowls which contain my small essentials such as my apartment key, my car key, matches, clips, coins, just random badges which I've collected, and a fridge, and just below the fridge is the freezer. So yeah, all right, and just over here we've got my favorite paintings which I've acquired 3 years ago. It's by a South African artist called Joe Ube, and if we just get a bit closer, you can actually see the magnificent detail that went into this. This is just pure genius and artistry. I think he spent about 200 hours on it, and you can tell that it really did take that long. Beautiful oil painting. Again, Joe, if you're watching this, please keep making good work. Just below that, we've got my wine cooler, because I am South African and wine is a popular drink of choice in my country. I brought the spirit of wine drinking with me to Japan. So yeah, I just keep a bunch of wines in there. The maximum you can have in the store is 12. I think I have 10 at the moment. But yeah, really nifty little wine cooler. Just above it is one of my babies, my Japanese black pine, which has no leaves. Her name is Matsushima-san, and she actually lost her leaves in February this year when I went back to South Africa. Just for 2 weeks, I thought she'd be able to survive without my care. She clearly couldn't, and she lost her leaves, but I still take care of her, and I love how she looks at the moment, actually. So yeah, one of my babies. All right, over here we've got a couch which I actually ordered when I first got here. I think I ordered it in the first week of my arrival, because when I moved here I had nothing in here. All I had was a fridge, my stove, the AC, a futon, and a washing machine. That's actually all I had. So just wanted something to sit on as well. I got this couch, but I bought it off Amazon and didn't try it out, and turns out it's a kiddie's couch. So it's a bit too small for my lounge, so I decided to bring it in here, and it fits perfectly. Whenever someone comes over for dinner, he or she often likes to just go straight to the couch and just get cozy. So yeah, very, very cozy couch. I really like it. And what else? Am I missing anything in here? I guess not. So just over here is where I wine and dine with my friends, or if anyone ever comes over. Just normally have a sit here and have a few beers or a few glasses of wine, or a very nice meal. And this is a portrait, acrylic painting on plexiglass, which I acquired from a Zimbabwean artist. I really like it. I just love the look and the blue. I think the artist did a brilliant job with the blues. So Richard, if you're watching this, keep making good work. And just over here is this lamp. If you rub it, it goes off. If you rub it, it turns on. If you hold it in, it dims. And if you hold it in again, it brightens. Just below that, Wi-Fi and air filter, and just a random box I made to the right. In the center is a diffuser, and on the left is a doll, which I acquired from Kansai International Airport. And over here we've got an artwork by the late Walter Battis from his Orgy series. There's a whole lot going on here, and people just touching themselves and touching each other. A very interesting artwork, I must say. But yeah, I acquired it when I just turned 21. Decided to get myself a nice little neat artwork, and this was it. And over here is a lamp which takes care of my other baby. So again, if you just rub this lamp, it intensifies, but if you just touch that, it's pretty cool lamp. You can choose the light intensity. Okay, this music's a bit loud, so just give me a second. All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, my other baby, she's been growing really well. I've been very happy with her growth recently. No complaints over here. And just your little coffee machine and a sweet tin or candy tin. I never say candy because I think that's American, so I just say sweets. Just keep sweets in here and chocolates. I think I've got sweet potato Kit Kats in there right now. If you haven't tried those, I highly recommend sweet potato Kit Kats. Absolutely delicious. Just below, slide this out, and so I keep wet wipes, paper towels, my rice cooker, blender and kettle, and a bunch of teas in the back, and capsules for my Dolce Gusto. And just below that, cups and glasses and a few extra bowls are kept in there. And yeah, this is pretty much where I eat and make food. And there's the genkan over there, and the bathroom, and this is pretty much the main space of the apartment. All right, over here I've got an artwork which I made as well in 2018, made from wood. I think it's laser engraved, if I'm correct. The original, which is a pen and ink drawing, is actually in Belgium. So I just decided to keep a piece of it by making a wood drawing, or a wood artwork, sorry. So when you step in here, you've got, it's a bit bright. Step in here, I've got my drafting table. That's the 5 p.m. bell. So yeah, drafting table and just projects I'm working on at any given moment. So this is what's happening right now. And just behind it is where I keep other tools, drawing tools, and you can adjust the table to the setting that you like. And just below that, I've got my trusty printer and my other baby from Okinawa. She's also been growing really well, so I've been very happy with her growth. And a cupboard which keeps more art supplies, so drawing paper, and what else is in there? Just clippers for my hair, printing paper, random things in there. It's a bit mendoxai to open it, so I'm just going to leave it closed. And over here is my work desk, so this is where I normally just do my studying or draw on my laptop over here. Highly recommend the HP Envy. It's exceptional for those who like to draw and don't want to carry other devices such as Wacom tablets. So yeah, if you like illustrating, I highly recommend this machine. And again, another Punu mask from Gabon, and my other baby. All right, so that's where I get my work done. Okay, and here's a couch or sofa with the side table, and it's just where I keep my remotes for my lamps and just pens and my essential kanji textbook. And something neat about this couch is that actually got drawers, so it's just additional storage space if you want to keep your chargers or cables. It's a bit messy in here, but yeah, luckily I barely use this one. And here as well, just keep more additional things. I keep paint and just a collection of money from African countries for my current artwork. And you can also just open it and it turns into a little table, so you can put your plate here while you're watching TV or a movie. And yeah, so I often have a bunch of coasters in my apartment so that I don't need to run up and down to the kitchen to get a coaster if I'm drinking juice or coffee. And just my TV, 32-inch. I didn't need anything bigger than that because I don't watch too much television. And just below that is the Xbox and the sound bar and my GTA video game in there. And just my other baby from Morocco. It's just like really shiny little crystallized stone. I'm not too sure what it is, but I saw it and I just thought that I have to have it. So yeah, let's just put you back. And, so usually on this table, it'll just be a book that I'm busy with. Currently, I've got this one called Faces of Africa. It's just gives you an insight into African cultures. I really like it. Highly recommend it if you also want to get an insight into African cultures. Faces of Africa. I think it's by Carol Beckwith and Angela Fisher, Nat Geo. So yeah, get this book, guys. Highly recommend it. Learn about the continent. And I think that's pretty much it in here. Just a lamp. I never really have my lamp on, or my main light on, so I usually just have my lamps on because I tend to have an eye pain or eye pains if I use too much light in my living space. So I often keep it dim and use warm lighting as much as I can. So the AC up here really helps to have this in the summer. Japanese summers are brutal, and really helps to have it in the winter as well. I'm not a fan of cold weather. So if you open here, this leads us outside. And there's a screen door again, protects me from the pesky mosquitoes which molest me. Here's my not so great view, but no complaints. Washing machine, it's out here on the balcony, and that's the balcony. Just got a little barbecue stand because as a South African, barbecue or braai as we call it is pretty much a tradition in my culture. So every weekend just light up a fire, throw some meat on there and have a good meal. And over here is my tatami room, so this is where I sleep. And instead of sleeping on a futon, I just decided to get a mattress. I tried the whole futon life for about 2 months and it wasn't for me, so I thought a mattress would just work best for me. And my other baby, who is clinging on for dear life, I don't think she'll make it, but yeah, I'm trying to resuscitate her. Just a chair, which I keep my phone on at night, and this lamp, which I use at night just before I go to bed, just so I can read and have a look at my vocab for the day. And this bed frame actually has sockets installed in it, so, or built into it, sorry. So I just plug my cell phone charger in there and let my phone charge while I'm asleep. So yeah, again with this lamp, just like all the other lamps, you can regulate the intensity of the light. And if you just open here, there's my cupboard. It's probably a bit dark, but yeah, my neat little cupboard. And today's laundry, my ironing board, and my suitcases all the way at the back. And my chair is where I get really cozy just before I go to bed. Look at some messages or read my mails or read a book. And over here, my other baby, and a little wood sculpture I acquired from a Zimbabwean artist, and the mosquito repellent behind my diary and watches, and my bookshelf, which just keeps my books and watch boxes. And yeah, last artwork is a painting of baobab trees by Shulin White, an artwork I acquired 3 years ago. And last artwork is, sorry, yeah, this is the last artwork, I believe. Drawing I made 2 years ago to just cover up a hole that was left there by the previous AC that was installed in here. And this is pretty much my living space, guys. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll try my best to answer them. Over here, actually leaving this space for a very special artwork. A very good friend of mine, Tatenda Chidora, from Zimbabwe but living in South Africa, captured this really beautiful, well, it's actually 2 portraits, so I'll share those a bit later in the video. Oh, I think I forgot about this. So you just slide this open. That's where I keep my jackets, blazers, and just below that is my cleaning supplies. So yeah, this is pretty much what you can expect to get when you are staying in this space. Just a tatami room and just a bunch of wood flooring. And yeah, I hope this video really helped, and thank you so much for watching.